You've probably heard the name whispered, or maybe screamed in a viral video, the Kuntilanak. She's one of Southeast Asia's most terrifying spirits. But you know what? Today, she's also a full-blown internet celebrity. So let's get into it. How exactly did an ancient ghost become a modern superstar? But first, quick question for you. Imagine this. It's late, you're alone, and up ahead is a spot everyone says is haunted. Super haunted. What do? 1, you just walk past, no big deal. Or 2, you turn back immediately, no way. Let us know. I mean, if you've scrolled through social media recently, you've definitely seen her. She is the star of all those prank videos, the face in a million memes, and the reason for countless jump scares online. She's gone totally global. But here's the thing. All those jump scares, all those creepy images, that's not the real story. What if I told you that the true, bone-deep horror of the Kuntilanak has nothing to do with her face? It's about the warning she brings, and we are absolutely going to figure out what that warning is. So, let's start with her modern claim to fame. How in the world did an ancient spirit become the viral ghost of our generation? Well, it turns out she's kind of perfectly built for the digital age. Creators all over Southeast Asia figured out that mixing her ancient, terrifying story with a bit of modern humor, well, it's a recipe for going viral. But these prank videos and ghost hunting shows, they're doing more than just getting views. They're actually keeping this ancient story alive for a whole new generation. To really understand her, though, we've got to look past the memes. We have to go all the way back to the original legend. And it doesn't start with something you see. It starts with a sound in the dark. So, who is the Kuntilanak? Well, at its heart, her story is a tragedy. She is the spirit of a woman who died during childbirth, a vengeful ghost who is forever searching, forever tied to the child she never had. It's that profound loss and rage that fuels everything she does. And this is what makes her so incredibly terrifying. She doesn't just appear. First, she might look like a beautiful woman with long black hair and a white dress, just trying to lure you closer. But once you're trapped, that's when she reveals her true form. We're talking fangs, blood-red eyes, and this gruesome, hollowed-out back. But here it is. This is the absolute key, the one thing most of the viral clips get wrong. The biggest clue that she's nearby isn't what you see, it's what you hear. Your ears are your first and last line of defense. And the folklore is so specific about this. You might hear a baby crying in the distance, or a woman's high-pitched laugh. You might smell sweet frangipani flowers, which suddenly turn into the foulest stench imaginable. But here is the most terrifying rule of all. If the sounds are loud, she's far away. But if they're soft, just a faint whisper, it means she's right behind you. And that brings us to the real heart of this whole story. Why has this particular ghost tale survived for centuries? Because it's more than a story. It's a warning, cleverly hidden inside of a horror show. Okay, so before we unpack that, I want to know what you think. What's the true source of her power? Is it A, just some ancient evil, B, a community's shared beliefs and values, or C, a specific haunted spot? Lock in your guess. All right, did you guess B? If you did, you are spot on. Her real power doesn't come from some spooky supernatural place, it comes from us. The story itself is what some call a social technology, a really effective tool for teaching lessons and passing down cultural rules from one generation to the next. And you can see just how versatile she is. Her story is a social warning. Don't stay out too late, or the Kuntilanak will get ya. It's a moral compass, warning people away from doing bad things. Lately, she's even been seen as a feminist icon, an avenger for women who have been wronged. And in some places, her story is even used to protect nature, like a river or a sacred tree. That incredible ability to change and adapt, that is precisely why she is absolutely thriving today. Which brings us to her spectacular rebirth in modern media. Get a load of this number, 54.6 million. That is how many tickets Indonesian horror movies sold in 2024. The whole genre, with figures like the Kuntilanak leading the charge, is massive. It's not just a trend, it's a full-on cultural phenomenon. And what's so cool is that today's creators aren't just doing a cover version of the old story. Oh no, they are actively adding to it, remixing it, and expanding her entire universe for a modern audience. I mean, you have films like Mankujiwa that go deep into her backstory, showing her as a human victim of terrible violence, which completely reframes her rage. And then you have video games like Pamali, where the player is literally in control of her narrative. Now, this is where things get really wild. In that game, Pamali, there are 35 different endings. 35! Your choices decide her fate. You can go down the classic revenge path, sure, but you can also find endings where she finds forgiveness, liberation, and even peace. The story is no longer a fixed thing, it's a conversation. So when you piece it all together, ancient folklore, viral videos, blockbuster movies, interactive games, you see that the Kuntilanak has this incredible, truly living legacy. So yeah, she's so much more than a ghost. She is the face of a billion-dollar industry and a cultural ambassador, introducing this incredible folklore to the rest of the world. She's a symbol that keeps evolving to reflect who we are today. So, if you're someone who likes their horror with a little more substance, with real cultural context, and not just cheap jump scares, you might want to go ahead and save this explainer for later. And it all leaves you with this one big question, right? The Kuntilanak proves that these old stories aren't dead things from the past. They're alive, and we are the ones who shape them. So how can a story like this ever really die if we're the ones who refuse to let it?